Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a little different from my usual ones. I never thought I would have to make a video like this, but the state of the world right now and the issues that we're facing, I don't see how I couldn't. I was going back and forth for like 2 or 3 days deciding did I want to make a video or talk about this because it's such a controversial topic. But as a black woman, I can't just not talk about it. I can't sit in silence because where has silence gotten us? I'm very disappointed. I'm not happy. This is 2020, right? We are supposed to have all this progress as people, and we're facing a pandemic right now that is still going on, but for some reason racism has trumped a pandemic that affected the world. Of course, things have happened over the years, such as we can go back to Trayvon Martin. I was aware of, but they happened when I was much younger, and it didn't, I don't want to say didn't affect me, but it didn't affect me as deeply as it does now. Now, I'm feeling the pressure. The pressure is on right now. It's very heavy, and I don't feel safe. And I have never really felt such restraint and such, you know, awareness that to the point where I'm scared. I grew up in a predominantly white area, elementary, middle school, high school, and college was probably the most diverse. Of course I knew kids, there were white, there was black, there was Hispanic, there was Asian. Of course I knew the difference, but I didn't feel that way. My friends were my friends, whatever color they may be, biracial, whatever, they were my friends, and they never treated me any differently and vice versa. But when I got to college, I truly felt racially profiled to the point where I was in tears. And I think that's why all of this is affecting me, because we are supposed to entrust in the police and law enforcement to do their jobs, to protect, to serve and protect, not to murder. Back when I think I was 20 or 21, I was living in my first apartment. I had just left the school event. It ended, it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was driving home. There was no parking spots. Everything was parallel parking. I lived in the city. I parked my car, and all of a sudden I see like these cop cars patrolling the area with their lights on. They don't usually do anything like that unless something is seriously wrong. Trying to be cautious, I was like, you know, I don't feel comfortable getting out the car right now. It's late, I'm a female. So I called my boyfriend at the time and I'm like, hey, can I come over? I just feel a little uneasy right now. So I leave, I start my car back up. As I pull out to the street, 6 squad cars just tail me, lights on, sirens blaring. They pull me over to 7-Eleven that's not even a quarter of a mile from my house. I guess I fit the description of the person, I guess because they were black, you know, in their eyes, we all are the same. They're just shaking with fear, my hands are on the wheel. They get their guns out, they point their guns at me. The officer closest to me's gun was about this far away from my cheek. And I'm just shaking and crying. And he was like, it doesn't matter if you cry, you think we care about your tears, you ain't. I don't say anything because I'm just scared. Then I eventually got it together enough to ask, what did I do? And they were like, shut the f up, don't talk right now. We will shoot you, we will drop you, we will kill you right here, we will shoot you. I'm just crying, so I start praying like silently to myself. I just start praying. I was like, please God, please don't let me die. I didn't do anything wrong. And next thing I know, I hear on their like police scanner, we caught the perpetrator going down whatever road it was, proceed with caution. Not one of them said, I apologize, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. Nothing. They just got their stuff and they're like, all right guys, wrong one. And they went on about their business. They never ever said, miss, we are so sorry for the inconvenience. They just went on. I didn't even tell my mom about that, I think for like a year, because I didn't want to scare her. I'm already away from her. I'm already living on my own. Had I told her, she would have probably tried to pack me up and move me back home. I just remember that night, the fear, true terror. I have no other words. I was terrified to the point where I called my boyfriend. I told him what happened. I went over there and I stayed at his house for like 3 days. I did not come home. I couldn't go home. I was terrified. At that moment, I realized for the first time, like truly as an adult, yes, we're equal, but we're not. We will never be treated as equals. Disgusting as it sounds, it's true. Had a white person been driving that car, it'd be cool. They wouldn't have assumed, but because I was black, it made all the difference. And you can't even speak to the police. You almost have to submit, because there are people getting killed who comply with the law. They don't do anything, they don't fight back. They ask, what did I do? They mute us. We're muted. We're muted and treated like animals, thrown to the ground, pepper sprayed, sprayed with hoses. Is it 1950? We might as well go ahead and start segregating again. We might as well go ahead and have colored only and white only fountains and stalls. And we might as well go back to that, because that's how I feel. I feel uneasy. I don't feel safe. And I never felt like that. I've never felt truly unsafe. I want to wrap my arms around every person of color and protect them if I could, because it's gross. It's disgusting what's going on. I don't understand how people could not be affected. And my heart goes out to anyone with children, especially if you just had children within the last couple of months. My heart truly goes out to you, because not only did you have a child during a pandemic and a global crisis, but now if you have Black children, they're also facing this extreme toxic era of racism in 2020. The fact that you have to teach them at such an early age, you need to be home by this time, you cannot wear a hood, don't go jogging in our neighborhood, you might get a hole blown in your back. They want those limitations on us. They want us to be limited and pushed in a box. My grandmother has now lived through 2 extremely racist periods in her life. The 50s, the 60s, and here we are in 2020, supposed to be so advanced, so evolved. But the color of my skin still matters. It still matters. In 2020, we have had we have had an African American president for 8 years, 2 consecutive terms, trying to make strides. Y'all gave him hell. But you elect Trump and all hell breaks loose. And I don't want to get on here and be political and get too deep into that. I want to keep the focus more so on what's going on now. All I'm saying is none of this happened when Barack Obama was in office. Please take that into account. The recent events with Ahmaud Arbery, I think that was everybody's like, all right, you know, we got to do something. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be put into works. To watch the video of someone my age, he's 25. He was 25. Get slaughtered broad daylight for jogging. I'm trying not to get emotional about it now. And I think that was everybody's like, all right, you know, this can't keep sliding. But then the recent murder of George Floyd, I mean, that skyrocketed everything took off from that point. That was our enough is enough. It's a shame that I can't get on social media without seeing someone of my race being killed. And I used to open Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and it just used to be full of so much inspiration and laughter. Now, sadness. I don't even like getting on. It's just darkness. It's just like this cloud. It's just hanging over the world, and it's awful. The topic of conversation needs to be, how do we get rid of this virus? How can we get the world back to normal? How can we make it so we can go out and enjoy time with family and go to work, get healthy again? I should not have to open Instagram and see a man's knee on another man's neck. That is not what I should be seeing. That is not what this youth, upcoming generation should be seeing. It should be corrupted with. That is not okay. I understand the rioting, because where has the silence gotten us? We've been silent, we've been submissive, because we want to live. I don't want to die from handling it the wrong way. I personally have a friend who just lost her job because they burnt her job down. You are burning down McDonald's, Rite Aids, Walgreens. So you would stop people from getting their medication to take care of themselves and get healthy to make a point. Protesting, yes, I'm all here for it, especially peacefully protesting. I'm here for it. People have to also be mindful. You are putting good people out of work. How do you all expect them to feed their families? I understand you want to make a point, take it to where it's going to matter. Y'all are looting Louis Vuitton. What statement is that making other than y'all want designer? Look, I'm all for a bag, okay? Y'all know, if y'all know me, I've been wanting me a Louis Vuitton for the longest time. But that's not protesting. That's not making a point. That's not setting anyone free. You aren't being oppressed because you feel like you need to go round up Louis Vuitton iridescent duffel bags. No, boo, no. That's not oppression. That's not her. That's just taking advantage of the situation. And you and I both know it. We are already in a pandemic, which should be the world against coronavirus, not the topic of conversation is race. That shouldn't be it. I went to the bank the other day. A sheriff followed me, I want to say about 3 whole miles. Every turn I took, I was going the speed limit. But mind you, if you don't know, I do have an orange Mustang. So what? That's my choice of car. I turn into my neighborhood. He turns into my neighborhood too. But then he goes and circles around and goes back out, and I go all the way to the back. I don't understand why I need to be followed because I have a nice car and I'm black. I don't understand. And when did we go so far back? When? Who would have ever thought 2020 would be the worst year? This has been the longest year. It is only June. It is June. And it just has been this trickle effect, like every month, thing after thing after thing. It has got to stop. Let me tell you one other thing. All these influencers that are not black, who are making these little forced posts, Black Lives Matter, no feeling behind it, no true empathy. You're not slick. I don't care who this offends. You want to jump on the bandwagon if you've either been called out. Why haven't you been using your platform to discuss this and talk about it? Because they don't care. Let's be real. A lot of people, white people, whatever color you are that is not black, feel uncomfortable at a time like this. And if they got called out because they're not speaking on Black Lives Matter and the issues going on, they're going to do it because they don't want to be attacked anymore. And so you're going to see a whole lot of that. And that's okay. Let them do them. We see where their loyalties lie. When all of a sudden their followers and subscriber counts have gone down significantly, they'll know why. Today is June 2nd. We are doing the Blackout Tuesday. Everybody should post in solidarity. Everybody is posting Black Lives Matter or just a black blank post and using the hashtag Blackout Tuesday. We have to show them that we have some solidarity. We have to show them that we mean business. This is probably the most peaceful thing that we could do as a whole, as black people. This is probably the most resilient yet cooperative movement we could take as a whole. We're serious. We mean business. It's not a joke to us. My heart goes out to anyone who's lost a family member, a loved one, a friend, whoever, to racism. You had a loved one out there protesting, or either the families of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. My heart goes out to you all. We have to take a stand, because if we don't, we will always be kneeling. We need to stand up and we need to do something about this as a whole, and do it the right way. Don't go about it in a stupid way that's gonna set us back 10 steps. Let's go about it the right way. We'll make the necessary changes, and we as a whole can prosper from there. There are so many organizations that are donating in regards to bailing people out that were protesting. And then there's also the one for George Floyd, where you can text Floyd, which is capital FLOYD, to 55156. And that is a donation hotline. And there's so many others that you can find. You can literally get on Instagram or just search on Google where you can help and what you can do. We still have so much to accomplish, so that way our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids will see a better day than we are right now. I hope you all are staying safe, staying aware, and keep your head up, because a change is gonna come and it will get better. You all have my love and support. And I'm gonna end it with this. What did James Brown say? He said, you better say it loud, because what? I'm black and I'm proud, and that's on what? Period.